The Palestinian militant group Hamas launched a wide-scale attack on Israel on Saturday, invading multiple towns, killing civilians, taking hostages, and launching rockets into Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared war with Hamas on Sunday. Israel responded to the attack with rocket strikes against Gaza and bolstered its borders with tanks.
Just as ISIS was crushed, so too will Hamas be crushed.
The death toll for both sides is in the thousands, and Gaza is facing a humanitarian crisis as Israel has stopped all deliveries of food, water, fuel, and electricity. President Biden has harshly condemned the attacks by Hamas and pledged the United States' support for Israel.
This is terrorism. But sadly, for the Jewish people, it's not new.
The House GOP is back to square one this week after Representative Steve Scalise withdrew his name from the speakership nomination on Thursday, just one day after he earned it.
I just shared with my colleagues that I'm withdrawing my name as a candidate for the speaker designee. Our conference still has to come together and is not there. There are still some people that have their own agendas.
The House GOP has chosen Representative Jim Jordan as their next speaker nominee, but it is unclear if he will be able to unite the divided party. Democrats and some Republicans have criticized the few hardline members of the GOP that caused chaos in both McCarthy and Scalise's speaker races.
Republicans need to end the GOP civil war. Now, what is the problem?
How do you allow 4% of the conference to do this to the entire country?
Meanwhile, the House is paralyzed under heightened stakes as the clock ticks closer to a November 17th government funding deadline. Representative George Santos was hit with 10 new criminal charges on Tuesday, including stealing the identities and financial information of contributors to his campaign. Santos has brushed off the latest charges, claiming that he has no plans to resign and will not accept a plea deal.
Will you resign? I have no clue of what you guys are talking about. No, I will not. Excuse me.
Senator Bob Menendez is facing a new charge of acting as a foreign agent of Egypt less than a month after he was hit with federal charges of accepting luxurious bribes. Menendez has vigorously denied the allegations against him and has refused to leave Congress, despite some of his Democratic colleagues urging him to do so. Former President Trump is facing blowback for remarks he made this week, criticizing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and calling the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah smart.
I'll never forget that Bibi Netanyahu let us down. That was a very terrible thing. I will say that. You talk about some of the things that went wrong over the last week. They've got to straighten it out because they're fighting potentially a very big force. They're fighting potentially Iran. And when they have people saying the wrong things, everything they say is being digested by these people because they're vicious and they're smart.
The comments have opened up the floor to criticism from the public, as well as from other GOP presidential hopefuls, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy.